I promise you, when you leave that farmhouse, you will be forever changed.
When you see a movie that says based on, true events and stuff like that, this is actually real.
We just got back from abandonment, and literally we walked through the door and stuff started going wild.
And all hell broke loose in that house that night. It was really the most horrendous event of my entire life.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Oh, whoa. That was a big spike.
There's no part of the house that's not active, Jason.
Whoa. I got chills, dude. That sounded just like archers.
I swear something just now touched the back of my leg. It felt like something just touched the back of my leg. Have you ever been touched in here?
What was that? Did you hear that?
I heard something.
For some reason, I'm on edge. I don't have an explanation for how that could be possible. That is probably one of the craziest things we've had happen.
On this adventure for our paranormal quest, we have traveled to Burrillville, Rhode Island. And this farmhouse that sits behind me is almost 300 years old. This house has gone by many names over the years. The Harrisville Farm, the Arnold Estate, but now it is known for the violent haunting that occurred inside this house that inspired the famous Hollywood film, The Conjuring. The Perron family lived for nearly a decade inside this house, and they experienced paranormal activity, some of it extreme and violent. Tonight, we're gonna see if the haunting that was portrayed in that movie is accurate, and if we can have paranormal experiences that correlate with the Perron family and many families that have lived inside this home. This infamous house is now owned by Corey and Jennifer Heinzen, and we are going to go inside and find out if their paranormal experiences are as extreme as the Perrons experienced inside this house in the 1970s. Let's head in.
It is a couple nights away from our investigation. Right now, I am about to speak to the best source of information on the history and the hauntings of this home. She grew up in the house, her and her family, and she was the eldest of 5 sisters. The experiences that her and her family had in this house and on the farm inspired the hit Hollywood film, The Conjuring. I'm very excited right now to be speaking with my friend, Andrea Perron. Hello, Andrea. Again, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with me on this house, your home place. When was your first experience? How soon after arriving at the farm did you have one?
Well, my first experience of the farm was when I was 11, and my mother had discovered it in June of 1970. And so she put all the money in the world that we had as a family down to hold it until my father came home from a business trip he was on. And my experience of it was, even though it was normal, we were still a perfect, we had not crossed over into paranormal yet. It felt like home to me. And that was my first experience of it. We didn't purchase it until December of 1970, and we didn't move into it until January 11th, 1971. And the first thing that happened was I walked into the house with a box off the big moving van. My father said, "Take this to your mother in the kitchen." And I rounded the corner into the dining room, and Mr. Kenyon was standing there, and he was packing the last of his possessions that had been in the corner cabinet, the china hutch. I walked into the dining room and I said, "Good morning, Mr. Kenyon." And, you know, by that time we knew him really well. And he was so sweet and so kind. And I talked to him. I picked up the box. I turned and there was a man standing there that I hadn't noticed when I first walked in the room. And he was dressed oddly. And he looked like flesh and blood to me. I did not mistake him for anything other than a living, breathing human being who I assumed was a friend of Mr. Kenyon's. And as I passed him, I said, "Good morning, sir." And he looked right through me like he could not even see me. And I went into the kitchen and I said, "Mom, who's that man with Mr. Kenyon?" And she said, "There's nobody with Mr. Kenyon. His son's on the way. He's not here yet."
So, Corey, when exactly did you and your wife buy this house?
We purchased this house June 21st of 2019.
And when you bought the house, you knew of its reputation.
Oh, of course. You have to know.
Yes. And how long after you moved in did you experience paranormal activity?
Oh, we experienced paranormal activity the day we moved in.
Really?
Yeah. We came in the front door that you guys came in when you first came in. One of the doors opened as we were walking in. So it was like an immediate reaction. Instead of bringing in like totes of clothes and stuff like that, we were moving in with DVR systems and stuff like that.
Do you recall right off exactly how many people had owned the farm prior to your family?
The farm was built, the land for it was deeded in 1680. Mr. Kenyon was the last in a very, very long line that stretched 8 generations that began with the Richardson family who built the house. And then it later became, through marriage, the Arnold estate.
When you think about some of your experiences you had at the farm, the paranormal experiences, the spiritual experiences, which maybe a couple that comes to your mind right off?
The night of the seance when the Warrens came, it was August of 74. And they insisted that a seance needed to occur in the house, that they needed to determine who the culprit was that was causing problems in the house. And they brought a medium and they brought a priest and they had photographers, cinematographers, they had an audio specialist, they had a, kind of an entourage with them, and all hell broke loose in that house that night. It was really the most horrendous event of my entire life. And I wasn't a part of it. I witnessed it. And that night, whatever it was that the medium conjured, which is really where the name of the film came from, was me explaining to the producers that she was conjuring the spirits and calling forth, throwing open wide the doors to the netherworld with 4 children of the 5 of us in the house, which, was malpractice as far as I'm concerned. But, that was really horrible, because what I saw occur in the house that night, and I was supposed to be upstairs with my other sisters. I wasn't supposed to be down watching. I saw my mother be levitated, and I saw her suffering. I saw her screaming and howling in pain. The table came up, it slammed down on the floor. My mother's chair came up with her in it. And then in a split second, it tossed her from the middle of our dining room into the middle of the parlor, and her head struck the floor. And I will never, ever forget the feeling that I had just watched my mom die.
We weren't here.
Right.
Like Lorraine Warren, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Warrens. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the parents. I don't know what they experienced.
Right.
I can tell you right now, there is something here. We haven't experienced on that level yet, but they had all their ducks in a row. It was enough to warrant the investigations. It's coming from the land.
Yeah.
We're sitting on 2 major ley lines. We sit on a large aquifer water. We're sitting on the old New Hampshire River, which was covered over during the last ice age. All these are good conductors of energy. If you ever look at the property from like Google Earth, it's actually shaped like a triangle.
That's weird.
You know, all these things just kind of like they stick out to you, and it's like, you know, I'm not really into the metaphysical side of things, but I've seen way too much in my time investigating to dismiss it.
Have you ever had any feelings or ideas as to maybe what energy, what spirit was actually oppressing your mother that night?
No, all I know is that it was pure evil. And as I've said probably 1,000 times in the last decade or so, I have seen the dark side of existence. And that's why I deliberately choose to live in the light.
But the story of Bathsheba that Lorraine picked up on, do you find any validity to the story of that Bathsheba haunting?
Bathsheba was a person. She lived across the street. You know, Lorraine picked up on something. Carolyn picked up on something. We can't provide no proof of it, but I wasn't in their shoes. I wasn't here. I know I can prove that she wasn't a witch just because she's buried on consecrated ground. There's no police record saying she was arrested for murder. She was never tried for murder. Her children died of typhus.
There was no proof that she had done anything to harm the child, but in the court of public opinion, she was tried and convicted and lived a long, miserable life. I mean, she was born in 1812 and she died in 1885. She did not die by hanging. She had a stroke. I always felt like she got a bad rap. You know, that I just don't think that you should accuse somebody of murder unless you have proof.
I think probably one of the neater things about this whole story is like when you see a movie that says based on, you know, true events and stuff like that, this is actually real. Case in point, we're out back with ground penetrating radar looking for bodies. Why? Because a spirit told Cindy Perrin as her bed was levitating that there were 7 dead soldiers buried in the wall. So we did ground penetrating radar all through the yard and the basement. And sure enough, down by the wall, but down by the rock wall, there's 5 grave shafts. There was no reason for us to be out there. And another thing is, it's not the Arnold family. The Arnold family plot is actually 3 miles this way. So there's no record of who's back here.
Right.
You know, and it's not one of those, hey, oh my God, there's bodies buried in my backyard. It's New England. It's not that big a deal. You know, there's no record of them, but yet this little girl says a story, and it just so happens 40 years later, we're out there looking around, and sure enough, there's bodies back there.
You find those bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as some of the more active areas in the house, do you believe maybe the dining hall would be one of them, the dining room?
There's no part of the house that's not active, Jason. There is not a square inch of that farmhouse that hasn't had something happen in it repeatedly. Yeah. Okay, I might be able to talk to you while you're there, and I do that with groups that I know.
Okay.
And I'm sure at some point I'll be able to talk to you Friday night. I'm sure I will. It's like the spirits know I'm on the phone, or they hear me through the speakerphone or whatever. And because of my attachment and connection with them, things begin to happen in the house. And so I would be happy to do that for you, and happy to do that with your crew. And, you know, even if we just spend a half an hour on the phone, I'll be able to pick up on energies, and you'll be able to just have your cameras and your filming and everything, your audio, your video, have it ready when we talk at the farm.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God, that'd be wonderful. That's perfect.
For this abandonment session, we'll be using the repurposed REM pod that Dave and I made after the antenna broke off. We connected copper wire to the antenna cable inside the device, and with an alligator clamp, we can turn any metal object into the antenna of this REM pod. Last investigation at the West Virginia Penitentiary, we used it on the execution cap to the electric chair.
Awesome.
Cool.
There we go.
On this investigation, Steve had the idea to connect it to the metal door handle on the door that leads to the basement. So now, we're using a piece of this famously haunted house as the antenna to our REM pod. Just 30 seconds after we walk out the door to leave this house empty, the REM pod indicates that something is touching the door handle. 30 seconds later, it does it again. And then, 3 seconds after that, for almost 8 minutes straight, the REM pod indicates an energy is coming into contact with the door handle, fading out, and then making contact again. After 8 minutes, the REM pod falls silent. For now.
Whoa! There's things going off on the door handle. Oh.
The cat ball just went off up here.
You turn the camera off?
This one is running.
It's going off again.
The cat ball's going off up here too.
Same time. Cat upstairs and this one off at the same time, 2 times each.
EDI just went off too.
Oh, wow.
EDI just went off.
Oh shit.
Dude, what if Ryan walked up there and scared it down the steps?
We just got back from abandonment and literally we walked through the door and stuff started going wild.
That's a good possibility.
Hard to say.
Hello? In the audio. Hello?
Wow.
Audio.
Can you light up something else again? Can you touch that one on the bed in there?
Are you trying to move the door?
You can put your hand all the way down on that. Can you slide it across the floor? Try and give it a good push. It won't hurt it. It won't hurt you either.
We didn't mean to startle you. We have permission to be here by the new property owner. My name's Steve. So my good friends Jason, Dave, and Ryan's upstairs. That was quiet as can be when we came in here.
Mm-hmm.
I was the last one in.
Can you push the door open?
That was quiet as can be when we came in here.
Mm-hmm.
I was the last one in.
Can you push the door open?
I was the last one in.
Can you push the door open?
I was the last one in.
Can you push the door open?
Whoa. Something just touched the back of my waist.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I just got touched.
Are you here with us?
I'm gonna start walking from the top of the stairs
Ryan's going to come down the stairs.
and see if that'll push him down that way. I'm coming down.
Can you push that door open?
Can you touch this right here that's in my hand?
Orange. The rim.
You say it went up to orange?
Yeah, I went close to this one, see?
Oh, that's you, yeah.
Hello, Andrea. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I tell you, I am very good. We are doing very well here. You know, it is so crazy that I just stepped out and I had a smoke and I texted you and I came back in this room next to the dining room and seen your text. You said the house is already activated, and it is so wild you said that because we just left the house for about an hour to get dinner. We left some equipment and cameras rolling in the house. And when we walked back into this room, the REM pod, the static proximity meter on the floor, actually started triggering. And we started having a bunch of strange things happening all at once.
Okay, well, let me tell you what happened. About an hour to maybe an hour and a half ago, I was just laying here in my bedroom on my bed, and I had a vision of that room full of equipment but no people in it. And I started seeing movement in the room, and I got a message from one of the spirits in the house, and I don't know which one, but the message was, "We know they're here. We'll be gentle with them or kind to them," or something to that effect. They are ready, willing, and able to cooperate and communicate with you tonight. And then I started seeing movement in the room and lights flashing.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow.
And they let me know that they know that you're there, they know who you are, and they know that I care about you, and they will be gentle with you, and they're not going to do anything to totally freak you out, but you are definitely going to have communication tonight. There is no question of it. None.
I've almost got chills, you telling me that.
Yeah, and if you want to have some communication and you want to feel a presence beside you, go stand on the hearthstone in front of the fireplace.
Put my hand on it?
You don't have to. All you have to do is stand there.
Okay. I'm standing here right now.
And then tell me which side of your body feels cold.
My left side.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, my left side. Yeah, I can feel it, Andrea. I can feel it. It's getting cold on my left hand. It's getting cold right here on my left hand next to the stairs that lead up to your room.
Yeah.
Wow, this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible.
Or at least a dozen active spirits in the house while we were there. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The house, the noises that are coming from upstairs are coming from the boarding room, which is that long, dark room that has the oddly shaped door right off of my old bedroom.
Okay. Okay.
What the spirits have taught me in the 10 years that we lived there, and the connections and the attachments that were formed, no pun intended, but real attachments were formed.
Right.
And not just with me, but with other members of my family as well. Because I always felt like it was home, that it was the only place that ever really felt like home to me in my whole life. Every place else on this planet feels temporary to me, but the farm feels permanent. With the spirits in the house, there were other forces in the house as well that I have no control over. They were invited in. The spirits that were there, I came to terms of endearment with and felt a familial attachment to. And so what I can tell them tonight is, hello, my darlings. I might be 1,200 miles away from you right now, but we all know that there is no such thing as time or distance. And I am right there with you, and I love you dearly, and I appreciate the messages that you sent to me a little while ago. Steve and Dave and Jason and Ryan are with all of you tonight. They are there to commune with you, not to hurt you in any way. They just want to know you. They want to have experiences with you, and whatever you share of yourselves with them will profoundly change their lives and their understanding of who you are and why you're there. Because what they will do is later, after we have this time together tonight, they will continue to talk with me about their experiences, and we will share some more of what we experienced when we lived there, when the Perrin family lived with you. Continue to talk with me about their experiences. Continue to talk with me about their experiences. And so what I want you to do tonight, at your leisure, at your pleasure, and with whatever energy you have to muster, and they will share their energy with you. These are young, strong men. They bring with them knowledge and understanding and a desire to know you, and they will share their energy with you. These are young, strong men. They bring with them, and they will share their energy so that you may draw upon that to manifest in whatever form you are able. It's all right to let them know that you are there. Somebody's reaching out to touch one of you right now on one of your shoulders. Tell me who it is and who feels it.
Me.
It was Ryan.
My right shoulder, right by the basement door that we just heard a knock on.
If you open that door and step into it, you will feel a drastic temperature change. That's where they hide when they're reticent about who's in the house. So if you open that door, I'll speak to them and let them know.
Okay.
I just tried to open the door 3 times.
Ryan said that he just tried to open the door 3 times.
And it wouldn't open, and then I stopped and I pulled the handle again and it came right open. It was like something was holding the door shut. That was really weird.
That's a little game that they play. Yeah, when you read my books, you'll read all about that.
That is awesome.
That's just proof positive that they're on the other side.
We're entering the boarding room.
That's where many babies were born and many died. What I feel in that room more than any other room in the house is sadness and loss. It makes me think of all the little tiny gravestones at the Arnold Cemetery that don't even have a name on them. 300 years ago was a hard time to be born into this world. And very, very many people didn't make it. In fact, it was considered extremely bad luck to even name your baby before its first birthday.
Wow.
The grief that the women went through after carrying a child in their womb for 9 months and going through all of the pain of natural childbirth and then losing your baby to the common cold.
That would just tear you in pieces.
Yes. I think that you should go into the center bedroom, the room that's, there's an outside window between the two bedrooms.
And that was, I believe, Cynthia's room?
Yep, Cindy and Christine. Well, you know, we all moved around and used different bedrooms. There's an outside window between the two bedrooms. There's an outside window between the two bedrooms. It was in the middle bedroom where Cindy heard the voices all speaking together at once, saying to her, "There are 7 dead soldiers buried in the wall. There are 7 dead soldiers buried in the wall."
But yet this little girl says a story, and it just so happens 40 years later, we're out there looking around, and sure enough, there's bodies back there.
You find those bodies.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're getting situated. I'm going to actually, do you think it would be okay if I sit on the bed?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to sit on the end of the bed. And we are now all 4 in the center room. The doors are open on either side.
But they're curious about you. You might pick up somebody kind of peeking around a door or a corner. They're curious. Yeah, there's activity downstairs between the dining room and the library. It's downstairs. They want you to go downstairs. Okay, they feel comfortable with you now.
That is very
You
good.
have some really outstanding experiences tonight. My advice to you is to keep your mind open, keep your heart open, and keep your eyes open, and keep cameras at the ready. Stay completely open to the experience, and I promise you, when you leave that farmhouse, you will be forever changed.
I want him to be able to hear us, but I also don't want us to whisper.
Yeah, he won't be able to. He won't be able to hear us. We stand closer than that and do it sometimes.
We just spoke with Andrea on the phone not long ago. She said you would be here with us. Are you here with us?
We were just speaking to Andrea a little bit ago on the phone. Hopefully you were able to hear her.
There's a very faint woman's voice, but I can't understand what she's saying. It's really quiet.
Please speak to Ryan as loud and as clearly as you can. He's right in there in Cynthia's room.
What was that? I heard that. Is anybody from the Arnold family here with us?
Susan, are you here with us?
There was a voice there. Didn't make it out.
What was that?
Sounds like a whistle.
Yeah, I did. Took that board downstairs. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Temperature drop.
Air pressure as well.
Can you make the other little green light beside that go off too?
See how that's lighting up for you? You can keep trying it. Can you tell Ryan who touched Steve, him, and myself earlier? Hasn't been doing that the entire time we've been up there.
What's that?
It's getting colder and warmer at the same time. Where is Ryan standing right now? He's standing in the chimney closet. He'd love to talk to you.
I was hearing absolutely nothing. I wasn't hearing anything, nothing. I'm really frustrated because after Andrea talked to the spirits through the phone, I had high hopes for this Estes Method Spirit Box session. None of us had any idea that we captured the explanation as soon as we started the session. Hearing this disembodied voice explains to us why nothing was talking through the S-Box. They simply didn't like this piece of equipment. If there's anyone in this room or in this house, we're friends of Andrea Perrin. Thought I heard something downstairs there.
I did too.
Thought I heard something downstairs there.
We believe we're hearing you. Could we please hear your voice or hear you walk or knock on the wall?
Andrea says that this place is magical. And she says you all are magical. We'd love to meet you.
I'm going to go ahead and cut on this just so it doesn't do what it did last time.
Okay.
There a little bit ago, Steve, you were filming Dave. This is probably about 4 to 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I noticed the K2 actually went up to the second light for about half a second.
Just did it there.
Oh, okay. Did you see how that lighted up in the window there? If you can see those lights flashing, or if you can see those lights, if you get close to it, it'll actually, just like that, see, it'll flash for you. You can do it as much as you like.
Appreciate you standing in front of the window. If you were responding to that, we appreciate that.
There's just like a very strong like sense of energy like right here like in the stairwell.
Mhm.
I've got cold chills so bad.
I'm freezing right here. Yeah.
Bathsheba, are you here with us? That one.
Temperature's trying to drop.
What was
There was something back here behind me. That one.
Temperature's trying to drop.
that? What was
There was something back here behind me.
Andrea did say that, she felt upwards of 12
that? Mm-hmm.
spirits in here.
Exactly.
These K2 hits could be multiple. You know what I mean?
Are they more than? Are they higher than the 2 lights, or is it just the second light?
Just whoa!
Second.
That was a big spike.
What did it go to?
Orange.
Orange, but it was like it hit like orange. It wasn't just a flash of orange.
Just more solid.
Come over here.
Whoa. Did you guys do anything with your...
With what?
That was weird. I just saw, literally right here, I just saw like a hook of bright, very bright white light. Like it was just shaped like a fishing hook.
It's weird.
That was very strange. I've never seen anything like that before.
All right, so Steve and I are going to go sit out in the car here for the next part of this Harrisville farmhouse investigation while Dave and Jason stay inside the house and see if smaller numbers, if just the 2 of them inside the house will help draw out some of the entities. Having all 4 of us in locations does seem to hinder some of the activity. You put us down in groups of 2 or less, things come alive. So we're going to go ahead and head out to the car here and we'll see what happens. I'll take that camera.
Good luck, guys.
Best of luck, guys. I'm going to lock you out too. Yeah, you better.
Hello, if there's anyone that can hear us. My name's Jason. This is Dave. What's your name?
Come speak with us, please. Andrea wanted you to speak with us. Can you do that? Did you hurt her mother?
Right when we were finishing up upstairs, Dave was definitely picking up on something like a real prominent, like a real strong energy in that stairwell coming up from the first floor from the actual front door. Whoa! That was a big spike up to the room we were in.
Mm-hmm.
So the first bedroom. It was that was an interesting session, we'll say, I guess. I think I feel there were multiple people that we potentially made contact with.
If someone is upstairs or in the basement and can hear us, would you please come upstairs with Dave and I into the dining room? Could you show yourself to us, please? We'd love that. We'd love that. Make a noise.
Did I?
Yes.
No.
Okay, I heard something right next to you. Make a noise. Sound like the sound someone makes when they're like pursing their lips.
No, I did not. Do you remember Ed and Lorraine Warren being here?
Andrea always says that this place is magical.
Yeah.
And that she feels like there's some sort of portal between dimensions here in this spot, whether it be because of, like Corey said, the ley lines, or some other reason that has to do with the different waterways that run through the area. But there's some strange phenomenon that goes on with this house, and I think the Perrin family experienced that when they lived here, and I think we're experiencing it tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can use all the energy you need from our equipment. You can use Dave and I's energy. Please come in to speak with us.
Could you make that sound again?
What happened in this room right here over 40 years ago to the Perrin family? Remember Carolyn, Roger, Andrea, her sisters, Ed, Lorraine Warren, they were all here. Do you know who they were communicating with?
There's multiple times I know I felt just chills, like not in a bad way per se, just that overall, like that all enveloping sense of just energy rush. You know, and it's been a while since we've, I think, at least that I can recall feeling that. You know, so that's always the part of investigating that I really enjoy, because it makes you feel even more alive.
Yes.
You communicating with us will help us to show other people that there's more to life than just here on Earth. The car door.
Oh, thank you.
I heard like a door or some knock. What was that? In a couple moments, my friend Dave and I are going to go outside for a little bit. And our friends Steve and Ryan will be coming in, and they're just as anxious to speak with you all.
All right, Ryan and I are going to be starting our. Wait. I just heard movement above your head. Yeah, we were hearing that in the kitchen too. We were getting ready. Dave and Jason just finished their duo session here at the Harrisville farmhouse. Ryan and I are going to be heading down into the basement. We haven't covered that area yet. And we're going to try to make communication with them. So we've got a couple cameras with us, some motion activated balls, and we have the S box. We're going to try with the pedal box this time and see what we get. So head down the basement.
Okay. So all the pedal box is an amp with these pedals attached to it, and it hooks into a spirit box. So it filters out the white noise sweeping. So, oh, did you hear that? It said hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
My name's Steve. It's my friend Ryan. Our friends Dave and Jason were in here earlier. Whoa, what was
Where?
that?
Somebody said where?
I think they were upstairs. I think.
Whoa. That's like someone went, oh.
It's been very fascinating, very interesting. We've already had a few strange things happen to us. You seen a strange light upstairs?
I did. That was very weird. That was weird. I just saw, literally right here, I just saw like a hook of bright, very bright white light.
We had some peculiar interaction with the K2 in the bedroom upstairs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did.
Do you remember Andrea Perrin? Said yes. If you remember Andrea Perrin, can you just say Andrea? Can you say her name? Can you say her name?
What about her father? Do you remember her father's name? Yes. Did you hear
I
that?
heard that. Very clear.
Yes.
We just had something very odd happen, though. Do you want to explain that?
Oh gosh, yeah. A little freaky. So obviously, we're out here, and a little bit ago, Dave was actually playing a scene from the Conjuring film, and it was actually including some behind the scenes footage of Lorraine Warren speaking. And I was like this, as I am now. Dave's right here, and we're watching it. And all of a sudden, the car here just rocked back and forth one time.
Yeah.
Like someone sat down in the back seat or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very, not a violent shake or anything, but, you felt the car shake. It was.
Yeah, we're totally still.
We are.
This weighs a ton.
That was odd. And Ryan and Steve are still inside, so.
Where's your recorder at? Oh, temperature drop. Pressure change. Barometric pressure change has dropped. I didn't catch it though.
When the Perrin family lived here, one of the daughters, Cindy, had an experience where she said she was overcome with an energy and actually her bed lifted up off the ground. She had a vision of something that came true here. Corey actually found something here. Can you tell us what Corey found that Cindy saw?
Hello there. If there's anyone here with me, my name's Jason. Can you tell me your name, please? Do you live in this house, or are you just passing through? I'm sure you remember the Perrin family. Can you tell me who slept in this room when the Perrins lived here in this house? I invite anyone in the house here that can hear me. Please come into this room with me and speak with me. Right here in front of me is a Van de Graaff generator. Basically, crank to this wheel, it will begin to charge up. when you take this wand here, when you discharge the electricity into the atmosphere. So in theory, kind of similar to an EM pump, just a little bit different. Something that spirits can hopefully use to interact. If you can see this thing in front of me, it won't harm you. I'm going to turn this on. Please feel free to get as close as you can. And you can take energy from me, the equipment, and from this here. You can use all that energy to communicate if you like. If you get a little closer to me, it'll be easier for you to speak. You can use this energy.
Oddly, as Jason cranks the Van de Graaff generator, arcs of static electricity begin to jump from the ball and into the air, as if something is taking energy from it before Jason discharged the generator. He did notice this as it was happening, but he didn't say anything about it at the time, because he wasn't sure if it was peculiar or not. Jason cranked the Van de Graaff a few more times before ending his solo session. After this, we did one final session in the dining room, which is now the living room of the house, and received absolutely no unexplained activity or evidence. It seems as though the energy this house held at the beginning of the night has been expended. It's hard to believe that 8 years ago, we sat in a packed movie theater together, watching the hit horror blockbuster that would spark a whole universe of feature films. And tonight, we experienced its inspiration for ourselves.
Whoa! There's things going off on the door handle.
Are they higher than the two lights, or is it just the second light?
Oh, whoa! That was a big spike. Can you say your name?
At the beginning of this investigation, Andrea told us,
Stay completely open to the experience, and I promise you, when you leave that farmhouse, you will be forever changed.
man, was she right.
Ooh, enjoyed that. I don't know why there's bed in the wool strip up, but that's what they mentioned. So I don't know. But I'll be back in a minute. Well, in about half hour. Oh, I've got something red. So yeah, I'll be back in half hour. I did enjoy that one. I wish it was a bit long. I wish it was a bit longer. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, it's gorgeous weather here, ladies. Gorgeous. It's red hot, actually. It's too bloody hot. You know what I mean? We ain't used to this weather, are we? Right, it's what time is it? 5:20. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. I don't want to show my arms because I don't like my arms, but I couldn't give a fuck. Oh, I don't mean to swear, sorry. Do you want me to show you what I've had today from Shein? Or do you want me to let you go and then come back in about half hour? Because I think there's only about 5 items. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Oh, yeah, put it on yet, Flowpot. Do you want me to show you now while I'm here? Or have you got to go? It's only there in there. I can be grabby. I've got to stop. Look at the pile. Oh, you want me to show you? Hang on then. I'll just go turn the camera off while I get up. Do you know what I mean? I'll put it back on, obviously, so you can see what I got. There's only 4 items anyway, ladies. Ow, ow. So it won't keep you long. Do you know what I mean? Oh, excuse me. Right, I've got this here, look, ladies, to go with all my green stuff. So I bought a lot of green stuff. Don't look at my nails. It's my necklace. Oh, I'll put that back in a minute, and I've got some earrings. I better put that back now, because you know what I'm like, I'll lose it. You know what I mean? Oh, see, I nearly lost the other day. See, if I show you now, I can put all this in the pile. In the pile. Got this. Oh, that's the back. I'm going to wear that open. Nice thing, and I've got loads of these, you know, but as you know, I'm painting them, so they're ruined. So it's just one of them strappy tops to wear underneath another top, if you know what I mean. Just a black strappy camo top. And I couldn't resist these. No, I could for a day. Oh, shitty. Another pair. Another pair. I don't know what it is with this colour, you know. Me and this colour. As you can see, I've got it on now. No, I'm just loving the colour. This is nice top. I like this one. I like this one. It's a bit see-through, so I'll have to wear a cami top underneath it. But I like that one. That's all that's come so far. I wish the boys had come so I can get it all in one pile. Do you know what I mean? That's all I've got so far. And I've got a few things, well, quite a lot still to come. Mainly the boys. Right, I'll let you crack on then, ladies, because I bet you're going to do dinner and that now, are you? I'm just going to cook myself some chips in my pan. Because I've been thinking about them since yesterday. I'll do flip pot. I can walk for miles in flip-flops, you know. I can walk for miles in flip-flops. And I like Shein's flip-flops. So I've got a pair there that, I bought for a holiday, but I've been wearing them. Hang on, I'll show you. I'll be wearing these though. For now, like, as you can see, they're moulded in my feet. But yeah, honestly, flare pot, I can walk forever in flip-flops. I can walk forever. Oh, are you going for a drive, Kelly? Oh, don't blame you. You get out, darling, you get out. Are you going now, Kelly, or later? I've been sitting outside, so I've got to stop going outside because it's burning. Oh. But I bought some of that, I can't wear the ones with the top in it. A lot of people can't, Kelly, a lot of people can't, but I can. I love flip-flops. I love it. I bought some tan accelerator, ain't I? Oh. Burning. Burn. I can. I love, because now we've had a lot of nice weather. The field's nice and dry. So I wear my flip-flops on my trek. I love wearing flip-flops. I just can't be trusted in slippers because I tend to fall down the stairs. But if I got flip-flops on and I'm going up and down the stairs, I'll just take them off. So I fell down a few times, I. Who is he? Oh, it's Red Hot here, Kelly. Red Hot. It's going to be hot tomorrow. It's going to be even hotter Monday. It's going to be nice all next week, which I'm glad because the kids are off, ain't they? And then it's going to be nice the week after. So it's all looking good at the moment. I wear bare feet when I'm going up and down the stairs, Kelly. I can't be trusted with flip-flops or slippers on the stairs because I tend to fall down all up them, don't I? So yeah. Yeah, next week, Kelly, they're off all next week. Well, people are off Monday anyway. It's bank holiday Monday, so people are having a longer weekend anyway. But yeah, the kids are off next week, which I'm glad. Oh, I am so glad. Hang on, ladies, I got a phone call. My daughter. Right then, I'll let you crack on because I want to go and cook them chips in me wok. I've been thinking about them for days and days and days. Oh. So yeah, I'll be back on in B. I'm going to do that one Flairbot sent me. I was meaning to do that one earlier, but that one looked very intriguing. So I've done that one instead. What? Right, I'll see you in a bit. Bye.